In a quiet village nestled deep between high mountains, there once lived a young man named Marco. He was 24 years old, full of energy on the outside, yet restless within. His mind never seemed to rest. Thoughts ran endlessly through him, memories of his past mistakes, fears of what the future might bring, and countless worries that arrived uninvited. These thoughts came and went like dark clouds, leaving him uneasy and exhausted. Nights brought little sleep, mornings no joy, and days no peace. It had been so long that Marco could not even remember the last time he had smiled with a free heart. One afternoon, while sitting by the river and lost in his endless storm of thoughts, Marco overheard travelers talking. They spoke of a distant village hidden in the hills. There, they said, lived a wise old man, someone who had once been a famous psychologist in the city. This man had spent years helping people, guiding them through their mental struggles, and teaching them how to discover peace within themselves. Now, he had left the noise of the city behind and chosen to live close to nature. People whispered that anyone who came to him left with lighter hearts and calmer minds. These words lit a spark of hope in Marco's weary soul. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of direction. Maybe this wise old man can help me, he thought. Maybe he holds the secret I've been searching for. Without hesitation, Marco decided to leave his village and set out on the journey. He walked for days along winding paths, through dense forests and steep climbs, under the hot sun and the cold nights. His body grew tired, but his heart grew more determined with every step. Finally, Marco arrived at the quiet village in the hills. There, among tall trees and flowers, stood a small, humble house wrapped in greenery. On its porch, an old man sat silently with his eyes closed. His face looked calm, almost glowing, as if he was carrying the peace of the whole world inside him. Marco, though nervous, walked forward slowly and said with respect, "Grandfather, my mind is always restless. I cannot stop thinking. I am tired and I want peace. Please, can you help me?" The old man opened his eyes gently and smiled, a smile so calm that it seemed to touch Marco's heart. He said softly, "So, you are looking for peace? Then come with me. I will give you a small task." He led Marco to his little yard. From a jug, he filled a glass with water until it was completely full, right to the edge. The water trembled, ready to spill with even the slightest movement. Handing the glass to Marco, the old man said, "Now, take this glass. Walk from here to the edge of the village and come back. But remember, do not spill even a single drop of water." Marco was surprised. He had expected wise words or deep teachings, but instead, he was being given a test. Yet he wanted to learn, so he accepted the challenge. Holding the glass carefully with both hands, he began walking. The path was not easy. The road was narrow, crowded with villagers. Children laughed and played, shopkeepers shouted to customers, women carried baskets, and dogs barked loudly. But Marco did not turn his head, did not let his eyes wander. Every ounce of his attention was fixed on the water. Step by slow step, he moved forward, his heart racing with focus. Villagers watched curiously but did not disturb him. They knew he was being taught something valuable. At last, after a long walk, Marco returned to the porch. His face showed both relief and pride. "Grandfather," he said with a small smile, "I did it. Not a single drop spilled." The old man nodded, his eyes kind. "Good," he said. "But tell me, did you notice the children playing on the side of the road? Did you hear the dogs barking? Did you see the shopkeepers calling to people?" Marco looked puzzled. "No," he admitted. "I didn't see or hear anything. My eyes were only on the glass. My mind was only on the water." The old man's smile widened. "And that," he said softly, "is the secret. When your mind stays in the present moment, there is no room for fear of the future or sorrow of the past. Just like you focused only on the glass, you too can focus only on the now. In that moment, your mind becomes still. There are no storms, no endless thoughts, only peace. Marco felt as if a veil had lifted. The truth seemed so simple, yet so powerful. Peace was not something far away, not something hidden outside. It had always been inside him, waiting for him to stop wandering through time and to return to the present moment. He bowed his head respectfully and whispered, "Grandfather, now I understand. If I want to calm my mind, I must keep it here, in this moment. That is where true peace lives." The old man smiled, and the golden light of the setting sun touched the ground around them. Birds flew back to their nests, the day slowly folded into night, and Marco began his journey home. But he was no longer the same restless young man. His steps were lighter, his heart calmer. For now, he carried within him the gift he had been searching for all along, the gift of peace.